Hannah Reuben, Mazkira of Bnei Akiva, to address the Kehillah.
Chief Rabbi Mervis, Your Excellency Ambassador Regev, His Worshipful the Mayor of Barnet, Rabbi Lawrence, Dayanim, Rabbanim, distinguished guests, Haverim. Yom HaZikaron is always one of the hardest days in the Jewish calendar. We stand in silence remembering those who have fought for our homeland, who were taken from the world too soon. Since the last time we stood here together a year ago, 17 new names have been added to this harrowing list. Included in these names is Sergeant First Class Zaharia Baumel, who fought for our country 37 years ago. Last month, his body was finally returned to the State of Israel to rest. Zahari was raised on religious Zionist values passed on from his parents. Yonah, his father, was one of the founding members of Shomer Hadati, an organisation that evolved into modern-day Bnei Akiva. Tragically, 4 new names have been added to this list in the past week. Moshe Agadi, Ziad Al-Hamada, Moshe Feder, and Pinhas Menachem Pri-Zuzman were all brutally murdered by rocket fire from terrorists in Gaza. Although they came from diverse backgrounds, all were Israeli citizens. Each were devoted parents and partners who left behind grieving family and friends. Tonight, we have them in our hearts and prayers. We stand united with them, along with all of Israel. From silence to joy, from stillness to dance, from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut. Israel, a country that we know today to have achieved so much in its short life. It has revived our ancient tongue, turning from a language of text and study into a language which lives, breathes, and expresses the vibrancy of our brothers and sisters in Israel today. It has the highest number of startups per capita, placing Israel at the forefront of technological advances in the world. Our homeland is leading the way. There is so much to celebrate. 71 years ago, on the 5th of Iyar 1948, David Ben-Gurion stood proudly and declared the establishment of a Jewish state in the land of Israel. Present in that room and personally invited by David Ben-Gurion, a young man who was active in helping Jews escape Germany in the years leading up to the Holocaust. His name, BA80, one of the founding visionaries of Bnei Akiva UK, our movement, 80 years ago this year. Yes, our movement this year turned 80 years old. Our Haverim to live a life of Torah Yisrael. 80 years of success guiding hundreds of our Haverim towards Aliyah. 80 years of our Bogrim leading the way, contributing in countless ways in Israel and across the world. However, though we are an old and proud movement, we cannot rest on our laurels. How does an 80-year-old movement stand up to the extra pressures on today's young people? How does an 80-year-old movement with a proud tradition of camping in fields stand up to the technology that permeates every aspect of our day-to-day lives? How does an 80-year-old movement renew and reinvent itself for the next 80 years and beyond? This year we are running a revamped Summer Machaneh program. Aleph Chalutzi and Bet Base will be in the Peak District with reinvigorated programming. Bet Chalutzi will be travelling to the Czech Republic, where they will engage with our nation's past, whilst learning about Israel, our nation's future. And Gimel Machaneh will be expanding their horizons, learning with and from Bnei Akiva Hannah Reuben in South Africa. The sixth and brand new Machaneh is a recognition that in order to build our future, we must appreciate the connection we have to our past. Machaneh Ari, named after Ari Hannah, is a day camp in London and Manchester designed especially for our young Chaverim in school years 3 to 6, the future of our movement. Chinuch is at the heart of our movement. We have launched a new educational series starting with Chanukat Tabayat, a book of Divrei Torah written by our Chanukim and Bogrim for the Hagim. Our publications are reaching thousands in shuls and campuses across the country, as well as hundreds more online each week. After the launch last year, we are running our re-energized Israel Machaneh, which has 3 tailor-made tracks, each emphasizing a part of our motto, Eretz and Torah. This format has gained us our highest number of participants to date, with 220 Chanukim. With hundreds of Chanukim coming through our doors on a weekly basis at Sviva, Bnei Akiva is educating proudly about religious Zionism and modern orthodoxy to the youth and children in an informal environment. So that's what the movement is doing. What are you going to do? There are countless opportunities to get involved, whether it's at Sviva or a Machaneh, as a Rosh, a Skal, a Madrich, a Madracha, a Chanich or a Chanecha. Whether it's in Israel on our 2 Hashara Gap Year programs, Torani and Kivun, going on the Shabbat Shabbat, or taking part in our advanced leadership program. Whether it's as a Boger or Bogeret at the student Bet Midrash, Shabbat Bogrim, or writing for Shabbat Lashem, the list goes on. We cannot do it without you. Bnei Akiva's success relies upon everyone in this room. Chanukim, look around the room. Your Madrachim, your leaders are here because they believe in you. They believe in our ideology. They live by our values and they want to see us progress and prosper. Madrachim, look around the room. Bogrim and parents are here because they see our ideology as the way one should live their life. They built the best of memories and friends and they want to see the movement evolve and grow. Bogrim and parents, look around the room. Our Chanukim are learning the ideology that we espouse, becoming the leaders of tomorrow and developing our movement to become the best it can be. You are already taking achrayut. You are taking responsibility for and ownership of our movement to make sure that it continues to grow. We are having a groundbreaking effect on the entire community and you must continue to drive it forward. What better example of this than tonight, when we've experienced the power of everyone coming together with one voice, with a powerful rendition of Hallel to praise and say thank you to Hashem for the miracle that is the state of Israel. We have just celebrated Pesach, where we rejoice over our freedom. Just 7 days after leaving Egypt, the Jewish people found themselves trapped between the sea and an aggrieved Egyptian army. God gave Moshe a commandment: speak to Am Yisrael, let them journey forth. The order was given to advance, sea or no sea. At that moment, the devotion and bravery of one man, Nachshon ben Aminadav, came to the fore. The Talmud shares, when Israel stood facing the sea and the command was given to move forward, each of the tribes hesitated, saying, we do not want to be the first to jump into the sea. Nachshon saw what was happening and took the initiative to leap into the waters. Meanwhile, Moshe was standing and praying for a solution to Israel's plight. God then admonishes Moshe for standing by, whilst Nachshon had already entered the sea, saying, my beloved ones are drowning in the stormy seas, and you are standing by and praying. Moshe replied, God, what am I to do? God replied, lift your staff and stretch your hand over the sea, which will split, and Bnei Israel will enter the sea upon dry land. And so it was. Following Nachshon's lead, Am Yisrael entered the sea and was saved. Bnei Akiva learns our leadership style from Nachshon. Ours is a leadership of action, refusing to let society pass us by. Ours is a leadership of bravery, unafraid to stand up for what is right. and ours is a leadership commitment to our values and the future of the Jewish people. We are proud of our ideology, Am Yisrael, the Eretz Yisrael, Al Pi Torat Yisrael. We welcome, educate and encourage others to live by our ideology. However, it does not compromise itself. It has strong foundations that we stand by and live for. We are here to educate Jewish youth with values of Torah, Avodah and Aliyah, to provide stimulating, experiential and informal opportunities for encountering Zionism and Judaism, and to encourage Jewish continuity and leadership in Israel and the UK. We have led for 80 years, and we are still leading the way. The future of Bnei Akiva is strong. It is a future that is built upon foundations 80 years in the making, of which everyone in this room plays a part. In Pirkei Avot it says, Ben Shmonim Lagvara. At 80, one has exceptional strength. Chaverim, let me tell you, Bnei Akiva has exceptional strength. Kadima, Bnei Akiva.